But even stronger, as I look across this room, you know, we were very intentional about this happening at Quinn Chapel. We are standing and sitting on holy ground for the civil rights movement. Quinn was a stop in the abolition movement, or slavery. Dr. King spoke here. Ida B. Wells spoke here. Frederick Douglass spoke here. And tonight, the Kina Collins for Congress campaign and volunteers right here. That's my niece, y'all, and my nephew. I just want to first acknowledge my parents, thanks be to God. Stand up, Mom and Dad, stand up. I'm going to embarrass you. Give it up. I'm my parents' third child. My mom's name is Tina. My name is Kina. I always joke that she was running out of names. So she named me Kina. My parents are black manufacturing union workers. They're not wealthy folks. We didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth or some prestigious political pedigree, but they taught me the golden rules.
Nice.
To stand for what is right, do good, seek justice. And when somebody tells you to sit down and be quiet, you stand up and you speak louder. Don't let anybody take your voice. And that's something that has been lived out with the people as I look across this room. I've known some of y'all for years. Y'all been rocking with me for years. Y'all still with me? Yeah. I had some consultants in D.C. tell me, you know, this is your third time. Do you think people are gonna? I said, you don't know my supporters. You don't know my donors and my volunteers. They're gonna show up on day one. And we're so glad for expanding our coalition. You know, 4 years ago when we decided to take this journey and file an FEC and run for Congress, I don't think that we ever could have expected that we would fill up a Quinn Chapel. People said, well, you know, you only appeal to white progressives and white portions of the district. Or you're too young, you're too inexperienced. No one's gonna listen to you. When I look around this room, I see white, black, Asian, Southeast Asian. I see young, I see old, give it up. I see first-time voters. I see veteran voters. I see activists. I see educators. I see the people who make up in the heart and the soul of the Illinois 7th Congressional District. And the brave souls are not just our volunteers who knew from day one that it was time for a change in the Illinois 7th Congressional District. I do want to acknowledge the elected officials and some of the folks in the room because it is not easy to break away from a machine. It is not easy to do that. And the work that Daniel and Byron have been doing, Aaron, Anthony, Camila, Aisha, Corey, I see sitting here, my good friend Darius, Nita. This is work that is the unsung heroes of our community. And me and Camila were on the phone today before we came over here. I'm just, talking, gossiping with each other. But I told Camila that I wanted this many speakers to come up and tell their side because y'all have been going through this journey with me for 4 years and people thought that our message was falling on the deaf ears. The things that I've been saying that we need to change in the Illinois 7 are issues that everybody cares about, not just in the city of Chicago, but all across the country. In the last election cycle, they told us there's no pathway to victory. There's nothing you can do to get close. We came within one city ward of taking this seat. I have never held elected office. But what I have done is shown up on the front lines for the people who are fighting for those who are voiceless. Ella Baker said, who are your people? Show me who your people are. My office is going to be wherever my people are. That's the unhoused. That's black folks. That's the working poor. Those are people who don't have health insurance or are underinsured in our community. Those are immigrants. All of us are a part of that community. And so I thank y'all for just being on this journey. The primary has changed. We got some new names that it came around in the race, huh? I just want to say that I've been consistent with y'all for 2 primaries. I don't want to be your alderperson. I don't want to be your state rep, and I don't want to be your city treasurer.
Oh my.
I want to be your congresswoman. I don't want to climb the political ladder just because it sounds nice. I want to roll up my sleeves and get into the fights that we need to get into in DC. We are the unbought, unbossed campaign that's going to be in this race. We are the campaign that does not believe in taking a dime of corporate PAC money, and we out-fundraise a 25-year sitting incumbent 2-1 in the last race. And we can take a dime of private equity money or corporate PAC money. So when they tell us that they can accept those donations from ComEd, when they tell us they can accept those donations from JP Morgan Chase, they're lying. They are lying to us. And they are selling us a dream. We deserve better, and we can do better. After we lost slightly in the last election, very slightly. It's giving, they were sweating. After we lost, the day after, it stung, it hurt, because I thought we left it all on the field, but we knew this journey was never going to be easy. We knew that when that Constitution was written and the prerequisites were laid out for who would serve in our Congress, they didn't think of a working poor black girl from the west side of Chicago. They didn't think about those of us educated in the public education system. They didn't think about people who may have grown up in the foster care system or were not a part of the structures that they had. So we know it's going to be a fight. We've been up for that fight. But our congressman went on NPR, and he was asked about the very energetic campaign that we ran, and said, "What are your thoughts?" And his response, instead of being a gracious winner and saying, "I concede that we need to listen to 46% of the district after they done voted against me," he said, "I will never be elected into public office." We'll see about that. You won't see him at the ballot box. We're going to see him when we collect those petitions. We're going to see him in these fundraising corners. We're going to see him on the front lines of these protests. Because you do not get to choose. Our Constitution says the people shall select the representative every 2 years in their district. The people shall select. Not the most senior elected official, not the corporations, because they are not individuals, not the police, not the major bodies of entities that hold structures of power that have kept us oppressed. It says the people shall select the representative in the district. And so, why are we running against Congressman Davis? Well, first off, he's been my congressman since I was 5 years old. Let's start there. I'm 32 now. I know, I don't look that big. But for 25 years, you served in this seat. Wow. And anything that you could have done, you should have done by now. That's not disrespect. That's accountability.
That's true.
And accountability is not a form of disrespect. It's a way that we say we love our community. So that's the first thing. The second thing is they say, well, what's going to be the difference in your voting record? Well, I'm actually going to show up to vote. Come on. Congressman Davis misses more votes than any Democrat sitting in the Illinois delegation right now. That's great. In a district where we hold the largest life expectancy gap in the nation between Streeterville and West Englewood. And who do you think lives shorter? The wealthy, affluent white areas or working poor black areas? We know it's a social determinant. It's the fact that, why am I running against him? It's the fact that Illinois is a donor state. meaning we pay more in federal taxes than we get back in federal resources. Congressman Davis likes talking about sitting on the Ways and Means Committee, and I find that interesting because they actually write the tax code. So the numbers, the math ain't mathing. How are we paying more and getting less in return? Why does Illinois 7 matter? Because to the north of us is the state of Wisconsin, and to the south of us is the state of Indiana. Regionally, we could be building a blue wall across the Midwest, fortifying and electrifying the electorate, a people power movement to get more people registered to vote, more people educated about what's happening in their communities. And finally, why will we run against Congressman Davis? Because it's time. Our lives have not improved since the last primary. Our lives have not improved. We have seen cost of living rise. We have seen wages stay the same. We have seen more people, our grandmothers on the south side and the west side and in Oak Park and Maywood and Bellwood cutting their blood pressure pills in half because they can't afford prescription food and mortgage every month. You're getting primary because the people in this district love their neighbors and they want to fight for the future in this district. And so I'm excited about what it means for our campaign to make it to Washington, D.C. It means we get a candidate that talks boldly about reparations. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Black Americans who have descended from slavery deserve reparations. We deserve for our Black Caucus members to say that boldly and unapologetically because the racial wealth gap in this country is it's criminal. We built this joint for free. We are a country that folks came in and stole the land and built it by stolen people. There is an amending and a healing, as Aaron talked about, that needs to happen. And that starts with reparations. Just to study, I mean, fully on reparations for closing the equity gap. That means universal health care, single payer Medicare for all. Because of all the developed countries in the world, we're the only one without a universal health care system. It means that we're paying more in premiums and we're getting less in our health care service. It means that insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies have our government by the throat and are not allowing people to move. And you should not be one sickness away from bankruptcy. That ain't right. That ain't right. We deserve to live in a society where if you get sick, it should not be the thing that ends you and the livelihood of your family. It means that we need a Green New Deal. It means we need environmental justice. In the last race, Congressman Davis called in J.B. Pritzker, he called in the mayor, he called in the Democratic Caucus chair, the former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, he called in President Biden.
Yes, yes.
We bad, y'all. I mean, to make the president pay attention to the West Side, we good. He called in the president for an endorsement. There are homes and small businesses flooded on the West Side right now, and on the South Side, and in the provisos. They are flooded. There are people who are inhaling mold because of that flood. And we think that environmental justice doesn't impact us here in the Midwest and the city of Chicago. We're going underwater. Do we not see that? Yes. So when people say, well, why do you care that he takes corporate PAC money? In the bluest district in the Midwest, in the most Democratic district in the Midwest, you don't need the corporate PAC money. We need to hold ExxonMobil accountable. That's right. We need to hold BP accountable. We need to hold Boeing Company accountable. We need to hold Amazon accountable. I see Miss Edie Jacobs. Miss Edie Jacobs gonna set it off, y'all. Fight for the workers, right? I'm getting to you, my girl. We need need to hold these companies accountable because our lives are at stake.
That's right.
Why do we run? Workers' rights. All work is work, and all work should be compensated for fairly. It means that we give people the power of collective bargaining, that we don't side with the corporations and those who have big money, that we side on the side of the people, and that we put people over profit. It means common sense gun safety, violence prevention, as Camila likes to say. The whole moment that politicized me was witnessing a young person gunned down in my community. And me and my sisters were there. And thank God we had our parents. But that changed the entire trajectory of my life. Because the bullet was flying long before anybody pulled the trigger. When you shut down public schools, that's the bullet flying. When there's lead in our water, that's bullets flying. When we don't have grocery stores and it's easier to get a gun than fresh produce, that's the bullet flying.
Come on.
When we're not getting the justice that we need, that's the bullet flying. When people are unhoused and don't feel safe, that's the bullet flying.
That's right.
And so violence is not just somebody punching you or pulling the trigger. Violence is when they shut down 50 schools and 29 of them are in the Illinois 7th Congressional District. That's violence. And so, Camila, she came up here and told y'all too much how we went to these protests and got arrested. You telling too much of my business, girl. But I'll do it again. As y'all's congresswoman, if that's what it takes to make people pay attention, Breonna Taylor should be here. LaQuan McDonald should be here.
That's right.
They should be here. And Antonio LaGreer should be here.
That's right. Betty Jones.
Betty Jones should be here.
Yeah.
Their lives matter. And if we're not willing to sacrifice something, somebody brought up Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton said, if you dare to struggle, then you dare to dream and win. And that's what we have to do. And so I'm going to wrap this up because y'all been sitting patiently in these chairs. But let me just make this real hard ask of y'all. They're not going to treat me like the unknown activists anymore. They didn't see us coming. They see us now.
Yes.
They feel it now. So we can't take any day on this campaign trail for granted. Every vote that's on the table, we need to snatch it. And one of the biggest barriers for Black women candidates is publicity and fundraising. And when I tell you that the average donation in our campaign was a little bit over $63, we had thousands of donors. We're gonna have to replicate that. Even if you don't live in the district, hosting house parties, getting volunteers to sign up. The only way we are going to win this race is organized people, organized money, and organized message. We are the only challenger in this race who has had the same consistent message for the last 4 years. We didn't endorse Congressman Davis in the last 2 primaries and then decide to run against him. Okay, we didn't do that. We've been with the side of the people who feel neglected, who feel voiceless, who feel unheard. And so I need y'all to sign up for some canvas shifts. I need y'all to get your friends on the doors. I need you to donate $5, sacrifice your Starbucks, or because Starbucks need to unionize. But donate that to the campaign because a little bit is gonna go such a long way. We're saying enough is enough. Wealth inequity, enough is enough. Gun violence, enough is enough. Healthcare disparities, enough is enough. 25 years in Congress, enough is enough. So, here we go again, y'all. Here we go again, but I'm just so honored. The response this morning when we made our official announcement has been quite overwhelming. Can y'all please give it up for my team who have put all this together? My sister Nikita and Takira are here. Say hi, y'all. Stand up. And my parents are here. Give it up for the MC for sale. This election is not for sale. And this movement is not for sale. Thank you.
Listen, there's been a lot of talking today, so I only got a few more questions to ask. Are you fired up? Are you ready to go? Are you fired up? Are you ready to go? All right, listen. Kina just gave you a hard ass, so I don't really got to be that hard about it. But you'll see in the sheets that you have in front of you with the program, there is a QR code on it. The only way, as Kina said, we're going to win this is organized people and organized money. I've run a campaign before. Byron has, Daniel has, Aaron has, Warren has. So many of us know that it makes it a lot easier to hang up the phone when the realtors call if all your money comes from working class people,
Can
right?
we get a quick picture? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, please. Let's get a
Quick
picture
picture.
in.
Everybody stand up. Quick picture, everyone.
We were supposed to lock the doors. Nobody leaves until they donate.
Y'all, I want to introduce y'all to Hasim. Hasim is running for Congress here. 11th District against Bill
First of all, I could have gone before Kina, but you don't want to follow her. I've worked with Kina for several years. I've followed all of her campaigns, donated to her, supported her,